This video is about fuel pump and THP engines in Nigeria. For those who don't know what THP engine means, I think you better check through the videos I've uploaded published on my YouTube channel. You'll find among the videos you find the ones where I showed what the THP engines looks like. So it's basically the turbocharged engines you find in most of these newer Peugeot cars, 308, 207, 508, 5008, 3008, name it. So now, if you live in Nigeria and your fuel pump fails, that's when you lose fuel. But what I mean by fuel pump means you lose pressure, your fuel delivery to the engine drops less than 75 psi. Like I always said, for these THP engines, the fuel pressure to the engine must be 75 psi. If anything less, it won't work well. You have a delivery issue or injection issue. It might not be that significant, the symptom, but it will be there. So once that fails and you rule it out that the problem is not from the external fuel filter but from this fuel pump unit. So you have like two options. The best, what I mean two options, I mean the solution to your problem. You want to get it right, you have two options. One option is to buy the OEM of this, the entire unit, call it also fuel pump assembly. Some will call it, okay, let's just use fuel pump assembly unit, which houses both the fuel sender, which is this one, and the fuel pressure regulator, which is this one is designed inside the unit. So once you diagnose and find out the problem is from your fuel pump, this one here, what you need to do is two options. Buy the OEM. Don't bother to buy this aftermarket you find in the Nigerian market. Honestly, I've tried so many of them, they don't work. What I mean, they don't work, they don't give the required pressure for these THP engines to work well. Maximum they usually give is 50 psi, which is 3.5 bar or so. While this OEM is about 73, okay, not actually 75, let's just say 73 psi, which is about 5 bar. So you can't get well, it's possible, but personally I wouldn't waste my money trying to get OEM in the open market. They will look exactly the same like the OEM, but when you mount it, you realize they are not actually OEM. So what you usually get will be 3.5 bar or 50 psi. So don't bother to buy this OEM from the open market. If you want to get probably maybe Pan Nigeria, you can get it there. If I don't know if they still have it. But I know a client bought it a year or 2 years ago, around almost 190,000. That's approximately 200,000 just for this. So that's why I say you can't get this in the open market. The one you get in the open market usually less than 50,000. Anyway, at that time. So either you have to buy the OEM if you want exactly like this to get it right, or the next option you have is to replace only the pump, which is this is it. This is it here. The fuel pump itself is inside. So when you replace only the pump with the normal fuel pump, this is one I used so far. I've done it on two. I replaced this the dead fuel pump on the assembly with this pump. Is the auto, the original auto. So when I replaced it, I got 75 psi from the OEM unit. Even though the pump was dead, I put a new pump, just the normal new pump, not even the expensive ones. I got 73 psi. However, if you use this same pump from this auto pump and put on the aftermarket new pump, you will get 50 psi. But that's aftermarket the assembly, you will get 50 psi. But when you put it on after OEM assembly, that's the original one the car came with, or is recommended for the car, or maybe the one the OEM purchased from Pan Nigeria, at a point you fail. If you put it on that one, you get that 73 psi. So in other words, the control of the fuel pressure is from this unit, not necessarily the pump, but the entire unit. This case, what we usually call this plastic case. So this is what actually controls the pressure, not necessarily the pump. Or in other words, what determines the pressure that goes out, not necessarily the fuel pump. So in that case, there's no point for you to ever change this. If what you have on your car is the same, is the recommended one, the OEM, or the one that came with the car, and you confirm before you fail that was 73 psi or 5 bar, no need to change. The only time you will be forced to, or you have to change it, is if let's assume the sender failed and you couldn't get another one, but you can actually, they are available. You can even buy this sender separately, new, get a used one that works. So, or the fuel pressure regulator inside it fails and they no longer maintain. Yeah, it will give you the 73 psi, but as soon as you switch off the engine, or the ignition, basically the engine, the pressure will drop back to 0. In that case, you will have no other option than to change the assembly. But they don't actually fail like that. Or you have issue with here where you plug in the connector to the fuel pump assembly. So sometimes they could burn. So these are the only reason why you should change. You have to change it. If not, if there's nothing wrong with this, there's no need for you to change this. For me, so all you need to do is just keep using the cheap fuel pump. I know this one, I've used it in my 406 and it lasted about 4 years. Before, about either 3.5 years or 4 years before it failed. So basically all my cars now have this pump now running in them. I think it's only this coupe that still running the OEM pump there. Other than that, every other one, this is what I'm using and it's serving me very well. So if you have a THP engine in your Peugeot vehicle, expect the design may not actually be like this. It could be like this one has a standard fuel filter, so that's why it has this output and input. This is the supply line, this is supply line, this is the return line. The fuel goes out from here, goes into the fuel filter, and as a bracket that will return part of the fuel that goes out from here back. Then the rest will go to the engine bay. Or you see some model that will have only this, the supply line, only this output here. You won't have this. So whichever model that is on your THP Peugeot vehicle, always, if it fails, and you, like I said, before you do, you need to confirm right now that it's working well, that the fuel pressure is 73 psi. Anything less than that, your fuel pressure is not okay. Even if it's giving you this, what's the code? Is it P009? Trying to remember this fuel pressure issue that usually come up on your scan tool. when you are having a fuel pressure issue and you scan the vehicle. Most time people will go and change their high pressure fuel pump, that is the HPFP, thinking that's the problem. No, you need to diagnose to be sure, rule it out, find out if first thing you do, find out if the pressure coming from the in tank, we'll call this one in tank, in tank, or call it inside tank fuel pump, whichever one. So the in tank fuel pump confirm that is sending or supplying up to 73 psi to the engine bay before you even bother to. Then even after checking this, also remove your fuel filter. If it has these two openings, you must have that external fuel filter, which is usually somewhere on the right side of the vehicle beside the fuel tank. So remove it, blow through it. If it's blocked, most times they do block. If it's blocked, no matter what you do, this pressure cannot get to the tank. Unfortunately, once that fuel filter blocks, over time, if you don't change it, it will kill this pump. No matter how good it is, it will kill it. So what you now end up changing both the pump and the filter. So most cases that I've worked on the THP vehicles, the issues were this, either from the fuel pump or the filter, not even the high pressure fuel pump. Yeah, the high pressure fuel pump, yeah, I've also worked on the ones that I diagnosed these vehicles and saw that the issue was from the high pressure fuel pump, not from the fuel filter or the in-tank fuel pump. So it all depends, but I will always start from here to rule it out. First from the filter, which is the cheapest, then to this one. Use your fuel pressure gauge or fuel pressure tester to do this test. You don't need a scan tool for it. It's after if you rule out all this fuel pump, the fuel filter, and the issue continues, then definitely you go to your high pressure fuel pump. Most time people will go and change the fuel rail sensor. There's a sensor that usually attached on the fuel rail where the fuel injectors are also attached. They will go and change that sensor, claiming that since the fault was showing, the fault was coming from the fuel rail, the sensor, it means the sensor is the problem. No, the sensor is telling you something is wrong with your fuel pressure. Doesn't mean it's the problem with the sensor. It's possible the sensor can fail, but for all the THP engines I've worked on, diagnosed and repaired that have fuel pressure issue, none of them had fuel pressure sensor issue. Eventually it was either of these three that I mentioned: the fuel pump, the in-tank fuel pump, the external filter, if the car has it. Not all of them have that external fuel filter, or the high pressure fuel pump. The ones that don't have that external high pressure fuel pump, no, the external fuel filter, this case, this housing here, they usually have filter inside. I suppose this one have can't tell. They usually have filter here. So when they do blocked, it can give you issues, but they hardly block like that per se. But it's possible to block. In that case, you will be forced to change this unit as well. If this your fuel strainer, the one that usually attached under the in-tank fuel pump, if this fuel strainer is clean enough, then you shouldn't worry about this. So how do you make sure that this your fuel strainer or fuel filter is always clean enough? Make sure you avoid buying fuel anyhow. So I think basically this is this information I just gave out now is very important, especially for not just to the owners of the vehicle, even to the technicians that repair this car. It will make your diagnosis much easier, rather than telling the owner the issue is the high pressure fuel pump, only for the issue to continue after spending so much to replace the high pressure fuel, because that's the most expensive component on this fuel delivery components on this EFI system. So don't not start from the most expensive one, start from the cheapest to rule out one after the other. Your diagnostic tool, your scanner will not tell you which of them that is exactly the cause. It will tell you there's a low fuel pressure issue. It's now up to you to find out where exactly or what the culprit is among these three things. It could even be your fuel line. Maybe something hits the fuel line or the fuel pipe that goes from the tank, or the fuel hose, whichever one that is on the vehicle, from the tank to the engine or the engine bay. It could be anyone. Just all I need, like I said, start with testing the fuel pressure with your fuel pressure gauge. There's a place for the test on your engine, on the engine bay, where you can do that test. So maybe one of these days I'll do a video on how you can test THP engine fuel pressure, which is testing to be sure that your fuel filter and your fuel pump are okay, that what you are getting to the engine bay is 73 psi. Anything less than that, I'll mention it again. Anything less than that, don't waste your time with your fuel, high pressure fuel pump. The issue is among these two, the filter or the pump, the in-tank one. So hope this helps. I believe it should.